Alright, what's going on? Welcome back to another little repair video. Now, there aren't too many repair videos about this device I can find. This is a modern Dewalt Radio, non-DAB version. I don't think it's a DAB version anyway. Picked it up at the car boot sale. Paid like £5 for it, unknown if it was broken or not. Obviously, I've had it apart already. Because I don't bore you with taking screws out, it's pretty easy to take some screws out in it. So this is the back case with the main board, charger board, auxiliary input board, backup battery board. And then I've already taken some other parts out here. This is the screen and the on-off buttons. Now, first thing to do that I did, this is the cable for the incoming. Hang on, let me just mount the camera in the stand. Hang on. There we go. That's better. So first thing I did after I got it apart was popped a battery in. Obviously it wasn't working, not switching on. Checked the voltages on these pins on B1, B plus, B minus. You can see that there. Just to make sure we had voltage on this charger board coming in. Perfect. Then I checked, it was fine. It was whatever it is, 18 volts from the battery. Check these diodes quickly, all okay. Then this is the input cable from that board to the main board. Check the voltage on here, perfect again. Around 18 volts from a fully charged battery, no problem at all. Had a quick poke around here, had a look at these capacitors, make sure they're all right. Check this diode here, which is probably a protection diode of some sort. But again, all okay. Did some real basic checks on here. Nothing major that I could see. So the first thing I would normally check, or the first thing I did check once I'd looked at that, is has any crap got inside the system? So is there anything that's causing electrical connectivity between anything? Give it a good tap. Loads of little bits of dust and rubble came out, but as this is a site radio, as you can see by the state of it, it was what it was. There was some bits in there, but nothing metal that I could see. So, do you know what? This might be the DAB version. Looking at this little board here. Anyway, but that's by the by. This is a DCR021, so it may have DAB in it. That's digital audio broadcasting, digital radio, depending on where you are in the world. So yeah, from there, the most common thing that I've seen in these radios is broken buttons. You know, they're treated pretty roughly, but I haven't experienced this before. So this plug here is where the interface buttons and screen plugs into. Right, so I unplugged that, tested all these buttons, made sure I was getting, all these clicked and gave various noises. As I expected, checked across continuity between these. Did notice that this board was chipped here, but actually it makes no difference. It's not actually causing any issues, that. But that gave me a suspect, well, maybe something else is correct. So, taking out the screen board, I don't know if you can see that there, but that is absolutely cracked all the way along here. So it definitely isn't going to switch on, because this cable here, or this button here, goes through this board and connects to this cable to switch it on. So we've got two choices. Replacement board is £40 online for this. So we could, the radio is probably only worth about 40 second hand, and I've already paid £5, so there's not much in it for that. But we could, this is about, I think this is maybe 12 pins. So we could create jumpers. If we can work out what's supposed to go where, we can put jumper cables across to all of the points, which is, I think, is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to dig out some little bits of cable, and we're going to make connections. I'm going to find out where they all need to connect to and make connections across for all of them. So this doesn't have to go in the bin. Hopefully that will get it working. Hopefully the screen itself isn't damaged. But yeah, again, look how badly affected this board is. So can we get it on a really good angle? I think you can see the crack along there. Yeah, so let's get the soldering iron out, little bits of cable, and we'll have a look. Okay, I'm not like other repairers that have a host of laminated wire and various things to work with. So I'm just going to use some junk, as this is a junk item anyway. I'm only going to use it myself, this radio, for when I'm out on site. I'm just going to use some solid strand network cable. Hopefully this will do the job. I know none of these are really taking huge amounts of power. So we should be okay. Doesn't really matter if it burns out, I guess, or something like that. As long as we can get a good fix on the points. Now, it's difficult to show you on camera exactly without a microscope what I'm going to do, but you can see the cracks there. All of these pins need connecting. My concern maybe is this resistor, because we're going to have to somehow connect off that resistor. It's only 0 ohms, so it's not really doing anything. Yeah, we need to get that tracked back to there somehow. It might not be a problem because it goes up from where it is. You can see that up from where it is and then to that point. Oh, there's another crack there, isn't there? Okay, so we got to find the track all the way back to that leg, I think. Right, so I'm going to do this. This is just some basic soldering. The hardest bit is finding the points where we need to connect to. But hopefully it's not going to be too bad. And what am I going to waste? 20 minutes of my life, maybe, if it doesn't work. Hopefully that'll only be 3 minutes in your world, because I will fast forward through most of this. Yes, let's tin up this cable and see how we go. First few of these with some fresh solder. I could scratch away some of the board, I guess, but I don't really see a huge point in doing that. Again, it all depends on the value, doesn't it? This is a low value item I'm going to keep myself, so if I get it working for another year, I've saved myself a bit of money, really. Okay, actually seems to fix on quite well. Let me just inspect that with my bad eyesight. Looks okay. Right, number 3. Number 3 has to get there. It's a really small piece of cable. Right. Number 3 has to go from here to here, I think, by the looks of it. Just for fun, we're going to use a different colour. I'm not going to have enough colours to do them all in different colours, but just to make it a little bit easier. If you're wondering how I'm soldering this, then all I'm doing is just, because I haven't got enough hands, I'm cleaning the soldering iron, dabbing a little bit of solder on the tip ready to go, which is not the most effective way to do soldering, I know. That's going to burn my fingers. Yeah, that's okay. When I've got a blob here, I can touch up some extra solder beforehand, so we know we got the rail correct. Right, back to the screwdriver holding it in place, I think. Wait for it to cool. Now I can already see that joint has gone dry already. That's not a major concern. Oh my god. I know since I made my last video, I said I should have brought a magnifying glass, which I definitely now. I can't believe how bad my eyesight's got. I might just need new glasses, you never know. Right, that's that third one there. Right, fourth one goes up to this tab here, which should be fine. Now it's getting a little bit confusing because as I'm putting these in, I'm obviously covering over the tracks where I need to connect to, which could cause me a problem later. I can't even quite see where that fourth one goes, if I've got it right at all. It does look like it's right, to be honest. It goes along there to there. Yeah, that looks okay. Right, track 5 go right. This is the one. No, it goes. Oh, this is going to be tricky because there's 2 tracks that run under that resistor of 0. Can we work out where they need to go? Sorry about the reflection of the lights and the silence. This is taking all my effort to think about this. Not that anything's going to go bang. Right, and it might do, I guess. But it's all low voltage. It's not going to be a huge problem. The next one might be a bit of a problem because I'm pretty sure I've got to try and get from I don't suppose I have to go. I could just go out. I'm wondering whether I can get rid of that 0 that's there and just go from the leg up to there. I think I probably can. Hang on, what's going on? That connects. Oh, I think I might have made a boo-boo. Right, I see my mistake. I had missed a leg, so I jumped one, which I've now corrected, but hopefully we haven't got anything connected there. Okay, on to the next one. This is a long one that needs to come right over the other side of the board, it seems. Well, I'm off camera here with my hands. I am just winding untwisting these cables from each other. Pretty long, this one. I think I've got I'm just going to bypass that. I'm going to go from that tab there. Follow the other side of that. Looks like it goes here. Let's just get the meter on that and have a little beep out. See if we can figure that one out. Where did I say? It's not there, not there. So obviously that's broken, so I don't think we're going to get a tag in there. There somewhere. That might not even be a good place to do it. Broken one of my other wires off. Of course I have. I think next time I make a video, I'm getting a magnifying glass. Because I just can't see anymore. Just can't see it anymore. I know people who do soldering for a living are just going to laugh at my technique, but I'm just going to try and make it work. Okay, that's another one done. We're over halfway. Hopefully we haven't got any cross connections on these pins. Let's look at the next one. The next one travels from the pin under all these 0 ohm resistors. It looks like it goes here. Yep, so hopefully we can build a pad here. I'll build these other pads while I'm here, really. I don't know if I'm going to use them, but I might as well tab them up. Right, okay. So where are we going from? Next one here, under to there. Right, so quite a long piece. Yep, still going, still going. Taken me about 15 minutes so far to do probably about 20 minutes to do about half of these. If I haven't said it in this video before, if this works first time, I buy everyone a drink. No, I would just be surprised. I'm sure I made some mistakes, taking the guesswork out of it. Right. This track's a bit interesting because it goes around the outside of the board instead of direct into a component. Right, we're almost done. There's one pin here, but it does still seem to be connected. So I'm wondering if this outside track that runs around here is allowing it to stick, because it's like a... It's, yeah, like a common rail. It goes around there and back down into this bit. A big fat wodge of it goes down there. I'll stuff it. Let's try it. Right, okay. Are you ready? Let's see if it works. Result. Look at that. Playing really well. Now there's no sound because there's no speaker connected, but let's just grab that and connect that. If you can hear me over the static, there's something a bit funky going on. Now, what's actually happened is this dial here is supposed to select, turn the volume up and down, but what it's actually doing is doing the mode select, which is interesting. We're going to switch it on and see if the mode select does the volume, because it probably means I've got a wire wired up somewhere wrong. She just want the fame, I know what she thinks. Give her little taste, running back to me. Good. Yeah, interesting. So mode's not doing anything. So literally have some crossed wires. All that board is so damaged that it's doing funny things. But there was one cable I didn't put in, which was the ground. So that might just be not giving us the right. It might be a bit of a dodgy connection. So let's disconnect the battery and have a look at it again. So what I'm going to do, I didn't put this cable here in second from one end in because it seemed like the ground connection was still there, but it doesn't mean the ground's not bad. And assuming that switch goes into some sort of encoder chip to, it's all like hardwire, but there's not enough cables to respond to this, so correspond to this. So let's drop that wire in and see if it sorts it out. Just for fun, what I thought I'd do is scratch off a bit of the laminate and create a new pad on the common if we can. Loads of solder. That looks good. It is interesting that, I mean, there could be a problem with that board as the other board as well, because I did say it was broken on this corner. There might be a problem with it. But those button boards are only like £10. Where these ones were 40. I don't know why I keep trying to do that. I'm not going to hold it in place while it's bloody hot, am I? Okay, Frankenstein board finished. Let's try it again. Let's zoom out a bit so you can see what's going on. Right, you can see the screen is all wired up again. Power on. Well, we got to hope it just. I didn't want it on there. No, see, look, that selector is still thinking that it's acting as. I'm sure it should just act as volume when that should run the tuning. All right, let's step through it and see what it's doing. Okay, I've got it switched off because I can't control the volume at the moment, and we don't want to get a licensing strike, do we? So something weird is happening. If I switch it on and off, that button seems to work correctly. Screen's upside down, but when I press other buttons, they don't necessarily do what they're supposed to. There's like the menu button. It's not taking me into the menu because I thought maybe doing a soft reset might sort it out. I definitely don't think this chip can really make any difference to what's going on. So I'm going to have to pause the video just in case the audio comes up. Oh, well, no, I'll tell you what we can do. We can unplug the speaker, can't we? And then we can see what's happening. Okay, so power on. I'm just going to swing all this round a minute. So we got it the right way around. I don't know if you can see the screen now. Screen goes dark. So we got radio 1. Right, got radio 1. Now playing, it says. And if I move the volume dial, it actually it's sending a pulse to change whatever it changes the source. So arrow 1 should make it scan through. Oh yeah, arrow 1's working okay, so that's arrow minus. Arrow plus. See, like arrow plus then takes you through the sources as well. Enter display. So yeah, enter display. See, when I press that, then it should allow me to select a station. Mode actually is going into that doesn't change its mode. I think it's simple, like someone's had a look at this and got a wire the wrong way around. I mean, it's more likely me, isn't it? No, that plug looks okay. Doesn't look like that's been resoldered at all. That's really annoying. Okay, let's just finish pressing the button. So menu does nothing. On off switches it off. Like I say with all these things, it'd be great if I had an extra. Oh, mode actually switched the mode then. It's just on aux. There's nothing that arrow doesn't do anything when it's on that. So mode, if we put it on FM, no, arrow plus changes the modes for some reason. That is quite annoying. Now, I guess we could have components that are damaged and it's causing an issue. What I'm going to do is just check for any cross connections that maybe I shouldn't have on this board. But we're like 90% there. It's so annoying. Right, switch it off. Let's see what's going on. Okay, looks like we've got a cross connection on these pins here. Whether that's making a difference, let's just double check these. Yeah, I don't think we're supposed to have a connection there. I'm just going to have to bring it close to my eyes. I don't know if we can do it on the camera. I don't think it focuses enough. Right. Just a tiny bit of solder, it seems. Okay, just desolder one of these. Resolder it again, I guess. Okay, of course, while I was resoldering, I broke another one of the tabs, but I'll fix that again. So let's get it plugged back into the radio. See if we've got something more interesting going on. As in, working. What do I need? The battery. I need the battery. No display. Power switch makes it come on. Connecting. Yes! Can you see that? We now got volume control. And so it was just a cross connection. Where's menu? Menu, and the menu comes up. It still does volume, but we can scroll through. Yes. Mode does switch the mode. Enter, that's not going to do anything. Yes. Sweet. So look at that mash of wires. I managed to get it working. Now, I don't think it's going to be robust enough to go back out on site, particularly, but for my light duties, my workshop, it's going to be sweet. Right, let's get it back together and make sure I don't damage anything when I do so. Here we go then. It's working as such, sort of. I think it switched mode by accident there. But we seem to, though we haven't got the best of signals, I think we can probably listen to BBC Parliament without copyright infringement, can't we? Not that it's the most interesting. No service. There we go. I don't know, the screen's being washed out a little bit. Let me switch that off. But yeah, it's there. We press menu. Right, if we press menu, auto scan.
So it's somewhere to stay. It's like a niche part of the market where if you go to
auto scan, so there we are, set to scanning. Dewalt Radio, £5 down the car boot sale. Probably 45 minutes of my time to put all that together. It looks like this video will be a little bit quicker than that. And excellent, we've got a site radio we can use just for light work. Obviously, I haven't put the handles back on yet, but I'm going to do that now. So, what to look at for if you're doing repairs? Definitely cracked and damaged boards, blown components, visual repairs are very common, as in you will see the problem when you open it. Obviously, and do all the basics, making sure you got voltages where you think you should have them in a very basic way before you start stripping the whole thing down, because it could be the amount of things I've repaired have just been a component like a diode that's like a over voltage protection diode across the battery connections and things like that. Hope you enjoyed this video. Love you. Bye bye.